Hi water signs. We're doing a love reading for water signs today. It's a general reading and it may not resonate for everyone. If it does for you, however, I'm going to be doing an extended reading on the actual connection, and the information for that's in the box below. Also, to let you know that I am taking personal readings right now, and the connection for that is in the box below too. And I'm also just going to fill you in a bit what's happening on the channel. I'm doing general readings for every sign weekly, and I'm doing a soulmate and a prosperity reading weekly. All right, let's get going now. So I'm using the Llewellyn deck, and the layout is kind of, this is your energy, this is your person's energy, and then we'll look at the connection. Okay, so this is your energy here, water sign, and this is the energy of your person. And this is the energy of the connection. All right, so we'll start with your energy, and I will be drawing clarifiers and cards from the universe as well, to get as much as we can here. Okay, we've got the Justice card, so I'll clarify that with the Two of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Six of Wands. So it looks to me like the universe has intervened here and brought this, and kind of brought balance into your life again as you keep moving towards your own path and where you're going. To kind of create, and this is about fulfilling yourself at this point as well in the worldly sense. So I can see that, that's showing up for you here, but maintaining the balance between that and between, because this is a love reading, between you and your person. So managing to keep some sort of balance there as you keep moving towards victory in both areas. We've got the Ten of Wands showing up here. So once again, it's about building a future. It's about building a future that represents who you are now, but also a future that is an actual place, like a foundation, like a solid place for you and your person, right? Because there's been a lot of growth that's happened here, and I think it's now time to go like, okay, well, you know what, I think we're ready for the next step. I think we can, build something more solid now, with a solid foundation, and not wanting to have to make choices between your personal development and your personal path and your kind of connected path, because because I think for you feel quite independent and quite ready as an independent in this connection to be able to then use, like, put who you are and what you've achieved and what you have to give the world, and to be able to harvest that and put it out there. But at the same time, using that as the growth to create the solid foundation for the connection, and not having to choose between the two. So that's really important to you. I'll just draw one more card. Yeah, because I think you got hurt in the past, and you kind of, stood outside your own emotional needs and your own spiritual needs, because there was a lot of pain going on there. But now I feel like you're ready to move into that again, and to create, that's why you don't want to have to make any choices this time. Because I think maybe before you put yourself on hold, and that was fine, and maybe you put yourself on hold because something did hurt you. But now it's time, to address that and create that balance in your life again, but not having to choose between what you're doing and what you're building for you and your partner. So with the Seven of Swords is taking, all of the ideas and all of the learning that you've done during this time of, as I said, that Three of Swords showing up, and now taking it and using it and moving it to a productive place, to where you can start this new path for you. So this is about you, but taking your partner with you, okay? And you don't feel defensive any longer. Like, you feel like, I think before you felt kind of defensive, like you had to defend your position of withdrawal. around your own personal path, and and riding towards that victory of creating that balance again now has put you on your path, so you no longer need to kind of feel defensive, and that may be something that got in the way even with the connection, because if you're feeling defensive, then sometimes you may not be as available for the other person. But now, as I kind of think you kind of are really optimistic and waiting to see what happens in your life as you've put things out and you're waiting to hear back, kind of thing, and move upon your own path towards victory there. Yeah, and as I said, you've put stuff out there, so I see a lot of communication going. I see communication in both ways, between you and your partner. Between the two of you, a lot of communication, back and forth, and it's been really good. It's helped you grow, it's helped them grow, it's helped the connection grow. But I also feel there's a lot of communication going out around, as I say, the Justice card, bringing this time for you to restore the balance between your own path and the path that you share together. And I can see that in the communication too. And I think that'll enrich the connection and the relationship, because you got the Ten of Cups. Because because of the Three of Swords, I say, if you fall in love with yourself again and feel not defensive but really optimistic and loving of you and where you're going, then the love will flourish in the whole connection. And that's what I see going on right now between. So the Justice card, the universe is kind of is providing that opportunity and this time for you to not have to make those choices again between the two, because the Empress is showing up here. So there's enough love, there's enough creativity, there's enough spiritual energy for the whole world here, never mind just for the connection. So I really see this moving into a flourishing situation here. Now for their cards, we've got the Page of Pentacles. So for them too, I feel like they're on a similar path to you, where, as I said, starting to look at their own individual path too, because I think opportunities have come their way, and it's been hard on them to have to strategize and figure out how to incorporate all that into this connection and this foundation that you have built in the relationship. So they're working really hard to try and figure out how that can all work out. It's causing some anxiety for them as well, because this is a new possibility coming their way. And so, they are kind of going through a similar thing with you. You don't want to make choices because you can't really, and they're trying to figure things out. So there's a bit of tension there. King of Wands showing up there with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Swords. So your person's been through a lot, and I think this is a long time ago, because it's the Ten of Swords. So it usually is kind of an accumulation of pain, and it can become from betrayal, disillusionment, disappointment, intentional hurt, all kinds of things. And then it accumulates, and and it's kind of like it can become overwhelming, and I think that's what the person's dealing with here as this new opportunity is showing up for them. But they've got the Ace of Cups, so they are kind of like where you are with the Empress, is that they are ready to move on to their path as well. We've got the King of Wands showing up here. Now, it's not a male or female card. It's the energy of moving onto their career path. And their career path is definitely very important to them. It's very heart-centered. It's very spiritual. But they've been hurt too. So they're really trying kind of a similar thing to you in a way, is how do they create that balance. And then we got the Six of Cups showing up here with the Two of Wands and the Sun. So very clear illumination for them around what their promise to themselves was and what they see for their future based on that. Like their promise to themselves, and when they were children, and it's something maybe they also want to pass on to the children kind of the world, including if they have their own children. So I see that as being really essential here in terms of their awakening and in terms of their clarity and illumination as they move forward. And they can, as I said, I think they're seeing that really clearly on an intuitive level. Something is calling to them. Something is, kind of compelling them to move on this opportunity of this path. And I do see them doing that. I see them following that path as this opportunity solidifies here. There's a definite, it was the page up here, it's the knight down here. So it's a definite opportunity. I think it's a job opportunity. It could be an opportunity for more knowledge, so it could be a higher education opportunity, but it could be either one. And I think that it's kind of what they saw and a vision for where they wanted to go for the next stage of their life, right? And they're kind of, with the Knight of Wands, they're they're committed to following it. All right, so that's you and your person. And so what I see for the connection, because both of these people are moving into the next cycle of their lives here, but I also see the connection doing that. So I don't see it taking you apart at all. In fact, with the connection moving into the next cycle of life, it's about fulfillment on another level. It's about filling the connection's heart desire. Because I think there's a definite, you got the Ten of Cups here, there's a definite cohesion in this between the two of you. And so I think the heart's desire is lined up. That's why it's showing up in the connection. And it also is the next cycle that this is going into. So that kind of fulfillment. And I think over this period of time of, the world slowing down, I think that became really clear to both of you, to the, to your connection, that it was time to follow individually and collectively, like to take the steps that you're taking to kind of move towards creating that balance in your own lives. You got the Page of Swords, so kind of, and the Lover's card, nice, and the Four of Wands. Wow. So it's like taking this step by step, but always leading towards the soulmate connection that you have, and leading towards the commitment that's between you, and the commitment to create that kind of euphoric world for yourselves, somewhere where you feel, sacred space, and that kind of commitment at that level. Then we got the Ace of Swords showing up, so coming up with a lot of ideas as to how this can move ahead on the path, and how the two of you could possibly even work together because you share the same values. And I see, kind of both of you wanting to follow your heart's desire. So, and recognizing as you've done the work between you through communications and stuff, that, wow, we really think a lot alike. We share the same values. We have the same, vision of the future in mind. We have the same path. So we are, it feels like the right place to be with each other and the right thing to do, and inevitably working towards the same future. We've got the Star showing up here, and the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. So a lot of healing that's taken place here, and a lot of guidance from the universe here towards you when you're having to make choices, and recognizing that intuitively, it's about moving intuitively through fears and through obstacles towards being on the path with the connection. So it doesn't mean things aren't there aren't obstacles there aren't, but the passion is what, and the emotional connection. This is a very strong emotional connection here with the two of you. So I feel like you're moving inadvertently, you're just going, I don't care how many obstacles there are, I don't care what we've been through, it's fine, I know that's there, but I'm determined to move ahead with this commitment. We're determined to move ahead with it. The commitment is determined to move ahead in spite of it all, because intuitively it's moving towards that incredible path that it's going to be on. All right, I'm just going to draw a card from the universe here. We've got the Eagle. So this is spirit, integrity, and connection to the angelic realm. So that's what I'm seeing with when I said with the Hermit here about the same values, the same integrity, the same spirit. And I think that spirit is moving for both of you in your individual pursuits and in the connection. All right, and just one more card, and we've got the Earth Fairy, physical health, grounding, and foundation. Right, and as I said, I think the individual choices have not taken away from the collective choice to build this solid foundation. We've got the Ten of Wands showing up here, and the Sun showing up. So really building it individually and together. So it looks pretty cool to me. All right, so I will be doing an extended reading, and we'll take a look at the Four of Wands and where the future might bring you, you know, in terms of the lovers and the vision of the future here with the Nine of Cups. Ending of a cycle, beginning of a new cycle, and the new cycle is beginning, from what I can see, in a really strong collective collaboration. Okay, I'll see you next week.